Hey, what's up guys and welcome to part 19 of What If Naruto Was an Otsutsuki. But before this video start, go and check out What If Kurama gave Naruto a dojutsu and enjoy. And also, I post a new episode of Naruto, the God of Shinobi on my second channel, so go ahead and enjoy it as well. And if this is the first time you hear my voice or see my video, what are you waiting for? I know you see that red subscribe button, so just take 5 seconds out of your precious time, and click that red subscribe button and join the animaking family. And thank you for your help and your support. And yeah, without further ado, let's get straight into it. Start the intro. You can change. You satisfy the rage in me. Take away my pain. You satisfy the rage in me. So the last time we left off, Naruto completely destroyed Sasuke as Deidara managed to escape. The mark on Naruto's head, right now half of it was gone. As Naruto woke up and Naruto regained his memories, the only thing he remembered was when he was a kid, coming up to the point at the tuning exams. He didn't remember anything else. He didn't remember entering tuning exams. As Tsunade and Kakashi realized that is what linked to Naruto's memory. That mark on his head is what took his memories away. And because it half faded away, Naruto got back some of his memories, as they did not understand it. But it seemed to be that. With Sasuke has been training intensely, non-stop training for the 3 years after he witnessed the Otsutsuki's power and Naruto power. The rumors had spread that Naruto came back in the Leaf Village. The Akatsuki know about this because of Zetsu. And Sasuke decided that this is the perfect time that he should go take his revenge on Itachi, as he is ready to kill off Orochimaru. So let's start this new episode. If you guys haven't yet, switch across to the playlist and enjoy the last part. So we start this episode with Sasuke as he wiped off the blood off of his blade. Orochimaru's head lie on the ground and his body composed of the 1,000 white snakes. As Sasuke put his sword back in his sheath, he then walked off. About 2 minutes later, he arrived in an abandoned basement warehouse place where a giant tank of water. Sasuke Uchiha, a voice said, coming from the water, "What are you doing here?" Sasuke pulled out his sword as he swiped the glass, and the water came rushing out. Suddenly, Shigetsu formed out of the water. As he appeared beside Sasuke, he placed his finger right at Sasuke's head. "Thank you for the rescue, but don't think that I'm going to pay you back. I can just kill you right now," said Shigetsu. As Sasuke didn't say a word, Shigetsu then chuckled as he moved his finger. "So, why did you rescue me?" "I just killed Orochimaru, and I'm creating a team and I want you to be on it." "Nah," said Shigetsu. "I have my own things to deal with." Sasuke didn't say anything as Shigetsu turned into a puddle of water and vanished. As Sasuke walked out, Sasuke was now on the road. As he saw a puddle in front of him, Shigetsu was swimming inside of it. "So, you say you want me to join your team? Well, I will, but only if you help me find the executioner blade." As Sasuke already knew what he was talking about, as he remembered back then with Zabuza. "Put some clothes on," Sasuke said, as he walked over the water with his chakra on his feet. Back at the Leaf Village, Naruto stood in front of Kakashi. At the sidelines was Hinata, Sakura, Tsunade, Jiraiya, Hayashi, Ino, Shizune, and Tauntaun, as Kakashi was preparing to test Naruto. Since he got back some of his memories, Kakashi wanted to see what Naruto is capable of now. as Naruto smiled. As Kakashi asked him, Naruto, why are you smiling? Well, I want to test out my body. Since I lost all of my memories, I don't know how strong I am. What if I'm like 100 times stronger than before? Well, I guess I'll test it out now, Naruto said as he stretched his arms and stretched his legs. As something then clicked in his mind. Wait, Naruto said as he stopped Kakashi, as everyone was wondering what he's doing. He then sat on the ground and closed his eyes. Naruto then arrived in his mindscape. He completely forgot about Kurama, as he had no idea how could he forget about Kurama. Well, it hasn't been really that long since he gained back some of his memories. He is now in the mindscape as he came up to the giant cage. The tag was gone. As Naruto couldn't believe it, Kurama was free. But remember guys, he released Kurama in the 1-month training that he was doing with Jiraiya for the Chunin exams, so Naruto wouldn't have memory of that, as he didn't understand. But he looked around, even if the tag was gone. Where exactly was Kurama? As he walked inside the bars, Kurama, Kurama, said Naruto. As he had memories, him and Kurama were kind of close, so he was trusting Kurama not to hurt him in here. Kurama, Naruto called out, as he could only see darkness, nothing else. He then saw a white light. What is that, Naruto wondered. As he saw the white light rushing towards him, he jumped out of the way as a white light flashed past him. What was that, Naruto said, as he continued to walk down the dark hallway, as he came upon a white barrier. What is this, he said as he looked up. He then saw the same mark that was on his forehead. It was on the barrier. As he touched it, he then pulled back his hand as he punched it, as his hand boomed right off of it. What is this? He then heard someone calling out his name. Naruto! Naruto! As he spun around but he couldn't see anyone. What the hell is going on? As he raised his hands up to where the mark was on the barrier, as he placed his hands on it, suddenly it started to glow red, as a sonic wave came off of it and blew him back, as he was sent right out of the mindscape. As Naruto awakened in the real world and he was huffing and puffing. What just happened? Kakashi asked him. I don't know, said Naruto. As he said, Kakashi, give me a couple more minutes. As he closed back his eyes, he went into his mindscape again. But this time, the cell wasn't there. There was just nothing. Endless darkness. I got to figure that out later, Naruto said, as he closed his eyes and awakened in the real world. Well, Kakashi, let's get this started, Naruto said, as he hopped up and down, stretching out his muscles. As he's still thinking about what just happened, he didn't really want to tell anyone about that, because he needed to find out what happened to Kurama before he relayed this information. Although he has lost a lot of his memories, and he still needed them back. As Hinata watched Naruto, as she saw Hanabi coming. Hello big sis, hello dad, said Hanabi. So you guys are here to see Naruto and how he performs. As Hinata nodded, as her father just looked at her. As he then turned back to Naruto, as Ino was there beside Sakura. So how do you think Naruto is going to do? I think he's going to do great. As Naruto looked at Kakashi. Kakashi, I don't want you to take it easy on me, so go ahead and remove that. As Kakashi nodded, I was planning on doing the same thing. As Kakashi lifted up his headband. As Jiraiya leaned against a tree, and Tsunade was right beside him with Shizune and Tauntaun. So, let's see what Naruto is capable of now. As Kakashi said begin, Naruto rushed forward, but he flew past Kakashi as he was right in front of Ino. As he stopped, Ino had blush marks on her face because Naruto was so close. If any of them even twitched, they would have kissed. Oh, I'm sorry, Naruto said, as he turned around. What the hell just happened? As everyone was at a shock, His speed was so incredible, he can't even control his own speed, as Kakashi was at a loss. Not even his Sharingan was able to keep up with that speed. Naruto then turned back to Kakashi. Well, I guess I have to work on that, as he walked up to Kakashi. So let's start it again. As he rushed toward Kakashi with normal speed this time, he sent a fist toward Kakashi's face. Kakashi quickly sidestepped it as he dodged the fist. Naruto then flipped around and sent a kick, which Kakashi ducked and dodged. Kakashi then punched towards Naruto's face. Naruto grabbed his wrist. As Naruto spun Kakashi around and threw him to the side, Naruto then pulled out 3 kunai as he sent them towards Kakashi. As Kakashi substituted with a log as the kunais made contact. Naruto then turned back to Kakashi to see Kakashi running at him from behind. Naruto quickly dodged a kunai coming towards him. Kakashi then rushed towards Naruto. As Naruto tried to dodge him, but Kakashi was able to punch Naruto right in his stomach. As he then punched Naruto in the face, as Naruto dropped down to the ground. As Naruto quickly got up and flipped back. What is going on? Naruto said as he looked down at his hands. I know that I am much stronger than this, so why can't I access my power? As he turned to see Kakashi already upon him, as Kakashi then delivered a whole set of hits and blows, sending Naruto flying back as Naruto managed to catch himself. As he stopped and looked towards Kakashi, as he was now huffing. Damn, Kakashi sensei, you have really gotten strong, he said, with a smile on his face. As Kakashi then ran through a set of hand signs, water style, water dragon jutsu. As a water dragon came towards Naruto, Naruto quickly jumped out of the way as he dodged the water dragon. Well, let's try ninjutsu now, said Naruto, as he placed his 2 hands on the ground and 2 giant hands erupted from the ground as they were made of stone as he rushed towards Kakashi. Kakashi dodged and sidestepped them. As 3 other hands were coming towards him, Kakashi charged a lightning blade as he sliced them down. Oh, said Kakashi as he landed. So you remember what happened at Wave? Yeah, said Naruto. I got a perfect idea what happened, and when you teach me how to use my elements, as I possess water, wind and earth and fire, and I was able to use them without weaving hand signs or really saying anything. Yeah, so let's see how better you got it, Kakashi said as he rushed towards Naruto. Naruto then waited till Kakashi reached right in front of him as Naruto opened his mouth and a large fire came out of his mouth. Kakashi quickly jumped back at speed, dodging the fire as quick as he can. As Naruto then slammed his hand from the ground and a massive pool of water shot out as it rushed towards Kakashi. Kakashi ran through hand signs of his own. Mud wall, he said, as the water made contact with the mud wall, as both attacks came subdued. As Naruto then took in a deep breath, as he then let it out in a massive wind as Kakashi could barely hold on. The wind blew him back as he slammed into a tree. As Kakashi managed to hold his ground, as Naruto kept on releasing wind as it was coming at a strong pace. Kakashi jumped straight up in the air as he flipped off of the branch. As Naruto canceled out his jutsu, Naruto then felt something behind him as he quickly turned around as he got a punch straight in the face. As he was down on the ground again, as Kakashi rushed over to him, Naruto rolled and escaped the kick. Naruto quickly jumped back to his feet. Kakashi-sensei, you have really gotten fast, Naruto said as he took a huff. As Kakashi noticed this, as he remembered, back then Naruto seemed to have an endless supply of chakra and power, but now he seemed to be running out quickly. As Kakashi really wanted to know the full extent of his power, it seems that because he lost his memory, he doesn't really know how to use his full power, said Jiraiya. As he remembered Naruto in the Chunin exam, when Naruto had the power over the fox. As he suddenly stopped, as he remembered when Naruto brought him into the mindscape, and Naruto took control over the fox, and the both of them were friends. Jiraiya didn't tell anyone about that, as he remembered that Naruto didn't tell him anything. as it then snapped to him. Naruto had no memory that the fox was free and he was granted the full power of the fox, and even that he taught him Sage Mode. Well, the frogs at Miyaboku, and he had Sage Mode. But Jiraiya doubted this because the contract, Naruto's name was no longer on the contract with the Toads. But he didn't understand how, because Naruto wasn't dead, and he asked the Toads about this, but they didn't understand as well. As Jiraiya remembered Naruto in the Chunin exams, when he was facing off against Gaara, and even when he was facing off against those Otsutsukis, Naruto was on a totally different level, but now he seemed to be a shell of his former self. As Tsunade looked at Naruto, this is the first time she's seen him fight really, because she never knew him back then, but she heard the stories when Jiraiya told her and Kakashi about his vast strength and power, and now what she's seen is quite pathetic. As Sakura watched as she couldn't believe how Naruto is performing now, as Hinata also watched as they couldn't believe Naruto's strength level now, as he's really down because of his memory loss. As Hanabi turned to her sister, Hinata, this is strange. When Naruto was fighting in Chunin exams, he was completely awesome, but now he's not even using any of his real awesome techniques and power. And what about that yellow glow, she said, as she remembered when he turned on that yellow glow, the fox around him. As Hinata nodded, well Hanabi, I don't exactly know what's going on. As Hayashi watched carefully, as he too was thinking the same thing. Back with the fight, Naruto misstepped as Kakashi came down with a fist, but Naruto managed to turn his head. But Kakashi quickly turned his fist as he punched Naruto right on the forehead where the mark is. Kakashi then stopped as his other hand let go of his kunai as he was having flashes. As Tsunade leaned up off of the tree, so did Jiraiya, as all of them. As Jiraiya then called out to Kakashi, but Kakashi wasn't moving or saying a word, as he wasn't making any sudden movements or anything. As Hayashi then to activate his Byakugan, as he saw a massive amount of power gathering on Naruto's forehead, and it was being transmitted into Kakashi's arm and going straight into his brain. As Hayashi wondered what was going on, as both Hanabi and Hinata activate their Byakugan as well to see the same thing happen, as Hayashi then informed the Hokage, as Jiraiya was wondering what was going on, as Kakashi was getting memories of Naruto facing off against a group of Otsutsukis. But this wasn't Earth. This wasn't Earth when Naruto faced off with them. This was when he was gone for the 3 years. As Naruto grabbed onto a Otsutsuki, as he grabbed the Otsutsuki by her head, as he absorbed her power, as she whittled down, and Naruto released her as she fell to the ground. Now who's next? Naruto shouted, as Kakashi broke from the link, as he fell back, as he was huffing and puffing. What was that? Kakashi asked. As Naruto started to shake, the mark on his forehead started to glow, as everyone jumped in. Tsunade, stand back, said Jiraiya. As Jiraiya jumped in near to Kakashi, as Hayashi stepped forward as well, as they were wondering what was going on, as the rest of them stayed behind the grown-ups. As Naruto was shaking, he was on the earth as he was floating. The mark on his forehead started to be reduced as he started to get smaller and smaller. But before he could completely vanish, Naruto stopped shaking as his eyes were closed. Listen to me, he said in a dark and demonic voice. Do not make this mark fade, or bad things will happen. What do you mean? Said Jiraiya, as he then stopped talking, as he fell over and dropped on his back, as he passed out. Tsunade and Sakura went over to see if he had any injuries. Nothing from the mark really, it was just from his fighting with Kakashi, as they were wondering what was going on. Suddenly Naruto jumped up, as he huffed and puffed. What is going on? He said, as he looked around at everyone's faces. I remember, he muttered out. You remember? Tsunade looked at him and said, what do you remember? Well, the last thing I remember, I was facing off against the Otsutsukis that came to Earth. And I made a deal with them to go with them if they managed to spare everyone here. And then nothing. So you remember everything up to that point, Jiraiya asked him. Yeah, every single thing. I remember facing off against Gaara, and my power went berserk and let loose. And I also activate a new dojutsu. What? Yeah, it's called the Rinnegan. Wait, how do you know about that dojutsu? Said Jiraiya. As he heard of that, it was known to be the eyes of gods. The Rinnegan. Wait, Naruto, said Jiraiya as he walked up to Naruto. You activate that dojutsu when you were fighting. Yeah, said Naruto. But how do you know what it's called? I don't know, but I have all these knowledge in my head. As Naruto placed his hands on his forehead, is the mark completely gone? No, said Jiraiya. There is still a piece of it, as it was like an X. And now, about half and a quarter of it is gone, and a small piece remained. As Jiraiya knew that this is the only thing keeping Naruto from not remembering, but they don't know how it activates, as from what he was told on the mission, this happened when he thought that Sakura was going to die. And just a while ago, when Kakashi accidentally punched him right in the forehead. So, does this have to do with fighting? He then remembered the words that Naruto spoke. Don't let this mark fade. When he was in some kind of a trance, as he couldn't understand it, that was a warning clearly. But warning for what? What is going to happen when that mark fades? What doesn't Naruto want his own self to remember? As he couldn't understand. But guys, I'm going to be ending this episode right here. If you want to see the next part of this, you already know what to do. Like, subscribe, comment down below, and turn on that bell notification to stay posted. But I'm out for now. Peace.